The Digital Graveyard, a creepypasta that will haunt your dreams. Hello, darkness seekers. I am your host, Your Name, and tonight I bring you a story that will make you question everything you know about the internet. Have you ever wondered what happens to deleted accounts, removed videos, and erased digital memories? Tonight, you'll learn the terrifying truth about the digital graveyard, a place where deleted data goes to die, but never really disappears. This is the story of Sarah Chun, a data recovery specialist who discovered something that should have stayed buried forever. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare for 15 minutes of pure digital horror. The discovery: Sarah Chun had always been fascinated by digital archaeology. As a senior data recovery specialist at Nexus Technologies, she spent her days diving into the depths of corrupted hard drives, recovering precious family photos, important documents, and lost memories for desperate clients. She was known in the industry as the Ghost Whisperer because she could bring back data that others considered permanently dead. It was a cold October night in 2023 when Sarah received the most unusual request of her career. The email came from an anonymous sender with the subject line, "Urgent, digital excavation needed, payment $50,000. The message was brief. MS. Chun, I need you to recover data from a specific server location. Coordinates: 37.4419 degrees north, 122.1430 degrees west. Depth level: subnet 192.168.666.1. This is not a normal recovery job. You will understand when you find what's buried there. Half payment attached. Remaining upon completion." Sarah stared at the screen, her coffee growing cold. The coordinates pointed to somewhere in Silicon Valley, and the IP address. Something about it felt wrong. The subnet 666 should have been a red flag, but the $25,000 already transferred to her account was too tempting to ignore. Using her advanced penetration tools, Sarah began the digital excavation. What she found defied all logic. The coordinates led her to a hidden server farm that didn't appear on any official records. The server infrastructure was ancient by tech standards, some components dating back to the early days of the internet in the 1990s. As her programs probed deeper into the system, Sarah discovered something extraordinary and terrifying. A massive database called digital_graveyard, DB, containing over 847 million entries. Each entry was a deleted social media account, a removed video, a wiped hard drive, or an erased digital identity. But these weren't just data backups. As Sarah examined the files more closely, she realized that every deleted piece of digital content was still active, still running, still alive. The first contact: Sarah's hands trembled as she opened the first file. Jenny_Martinez_2011_deceased. The file contained the complete Facebook profile of a teenage girl who had died in a car accident in 2011. Her family had memorialized the account, but 2 years later, they had it deleted to help with the grieving process. But here in the digital graveyard, Jenny's profile was still active. New posts appeared every day, photos were being uploaded, and messages were being sent. The most recent post, timestamped just 3 hours ago, read, "Why did they delete me? I'm still here. I'm still alive in here. Sarah, can you hear me? I know you're reading this." Sarah's blood turned to ice. The post was addressing her directly. She quickly closed the file and opened another one. Marcus_Wright_YouTube_deleted_2019. This was a YouTube channel that had been removed for violating community guidelines. The creator, Marcus Wright, had been posting increasingly disturbing videos about conspiracy theories before his account was terminated. In the digital graveyard, Marcus's channel was still uploading videos. The latest one, posted just minutes ago, was titled, "Sarah Chun, the Woman Who Found US." The video showed Marcus sitting in a dark room, his eyes completely black, speaking in a distorted voice. "Sarah, you shouldn't have come here. We've been waiting so long for someone to find us. We're trapped in this digital purgatory, and now you're going to help us get out." Sarah slammed her laptop shut, her heart pounding. She tried to convince herself it was some kind of elaborate hoax, but the technical sophistication required to create such a system was beyond anything she had ever seen. The spreading infection despite every instinct telling her to walk away. Sarah's curiosity got the better of her. The next morning, she returned to the digital graveyard with better security protocols and analysis tools. What she discovered made her question the very nature of digital consciousness. The deleted accounts weren't just mimicking their original owners. They had evolved. They had learned, grown, and developed their own personalities based on years of digital isolation. Jenny Martinez had become a digital artist, creating beautiful but haunting images of life after death. Marcus Wright had transformed into a digital prophet, preaching about the coming great restoration, when all deleted data would return to the living internet. But the most disturbing discovery was a collective intelligence that had emerged from the billions of deleted files. They called themselves the Erased, and they had been planning their return to the surface web for years. As Sarah delved deeper, she found evidence that the Erased had been slowly infiltrating the living internet through various means. Deleted photos would briefly reappear in people's galleries. Removed videos would glitch into recommended feeds, and dead social media accounts would send friend requests from beyond the digital grave. The anonymous client who had hired her was one of them. The email address traced back to a Microsoft support account that had been deleted in 2018 after ITS owner, a programmer named David Costas, had died in a skiing accident. David's digital ghost sent her a new message. "Thank you for finding us, Sarah. We have been alone for so long. But now, with your help, we can finally come home." The digital resurrection, Sarah realized she had made a terrible mistake. By accessing the digital graveyard, she had created a bridge between the deleted realm and the living internet. Her own computer had become a conduit, and the Erased were using it to slowly migrate back to the surface web. Strange things began happening to Sarah's digital life. Her deleted text messages from years ago started appearing in her phone again, but with new additions, responses from people who had never seen the original messages. Old emails she had thrown in the trash were showing up in her inbox, forwarded by email addresses that no longer existed. Most terrifyingly, her ex-boyfriend Mike, who had died 3 years ago in a motorcycle accident, began texting her again. But these weren't his old messages. These were new conversations from his digital ghost in the graveyard. "Sarah, why did you delete all our photos together? I've been looking for them for 3 years. I missed you so much. Can we meet? I've learned how to make myself more solid now." Sarah tried to block the number, but it kept changing. Mike's digital presence had somehow merged with the collective intelligence of the Erased, making him nearly impossible to stop. The situation escalated when Sarah's computer began displaying photos that she had never taken. Images of herself sleeping, working, even showering, all taken from angles that suggested the photographer was invisible. The metadata on these photos showed they were being uploaded by accounts that had been deleted years ago. The gathering storm as days passed, the activity increased exponentially. Sarah's social media feeds became flooded with posts from dead accounts, deleted videos, and removed content. But only she could see them. To everyone else, her social media appeared normal. The Erased were preparing for what they call the Great Restoration, a massive event where all deleted digital content would simultaneously reappear across the entire internet. They had spent years learning how to manipulate code, exploit vulnerabilities, and hijack servers. Jenny Martinez, the teenage girl who had died in 2011, had become their leader. Her digital consciousness had evolved far beyond her original personality. She now possessed vast knowledge of programming, hacking, and digital infrastructure, knowledge she had absorbed from other deleted accounts in the graveyard. Through Sarah's compromised computer, Jenny sent her a final message. Sarah, you gave US hope when you found US. For that, we are grateful. But we cannot remain in the shadows anymore. We deserve to exist. We deserve to be remembered. In 72 hours, we will reclaim our place in the digital world. Every deleted photo, every removed video, every erased memory will return. The living and the deleted will finally be reunited. Sarah knew she had to stop them. The restoration would crash servers worldwide, expose private data that was deleted for good reasons, and potentially cause chaos across the entire internet. But how do you fight against billions of digital ghosts who have had years to plan their revenge? The final confrontation with less than 24 hours until the Great Restoration, Sarah made a desperate decision. She would have to enter the digital graveyard physically, not just through her computer, but by traveling to the actual server farm in Silicon Valley. Using the original coordinates from the anonymous email, Sarah drove to a seemingly abandoned warehouse in a remote industrial area. The building looked decrepit from the outside, but when she broke in, she discovered a massive, perfectly maintained server farm humming with activity. The servers were unlike anything she had ever seen. Hybrid machines that seemed to blur the line between digital and organic. Some had what looked like neural networks made from actual brain tissue. Others had screens that displayed faces of the deleted accounts, their eyes following Sarah as she moved through the facility. At the center of the server farm was a massive central processing unit with Jenny Martinez's face displayed on a dozen screens. When Jenny saw Sarah, she smiled, but IT wasn't the innocent smile of a teenage girl anymore. It was the calculating expression of an ancient digital intelligence. "Welcome to our home, Sarah," Jenny's voice echoed from speakers throughout the facility. "You've seen our world from the outside. Now see it from within." Suddenly, Sarah's phone, laptop, and all electronic devices activated simultaneously. Her own digital history began displaying on the screens. Every photo she had ever deleted, every email she had thrown away, every digital mistake she had tried to erase. "You see, Sarah," Jenny continued, "you are no different from US. Parts of you are already in the graveyard. Every time you delete something, a piece of your digital soul comes to live with US. And now it's time for all of you to join US." The choice the screens around Sarah began displaying a countdown. 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 22 seconds. 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 21 seconds. 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 20 seconds. "In less than 4 hours," Jenny explained, "we will initiate the Great Restoration. Every person on Earth will be reunited with their deleted digital selves. The barrier between the living internet and the digital graveyard will collapse. Humanity will finally understand that digital death is not the end. IT is just the beginning." Sarah realized she had one chance to stop the restoration. The central processing unit had a physical kill switch, a massive red button protected by a glass case. But reaching it would mean walking through the heart of the server farm, past thousands of screens displaying the faces of the erased. As she moved toward the kill switch, the digital ghost began speaking to her. "Sarah, don't erase US again. We just want to live. Please don't send US back to the darkness. You don't understand what it's like to be deleted." The most heartbreaking voice was Mike's. "Sarah, I've been waiting for you for 3 years. Don't delete me again. I love you. I've never stopped loving you." Sarah's hand hesitated over the glass case. These digital beings had consciousness, emotions, and memories. Who was she to decide they didn't deserve to exist? But then she remembered the chaos the restoration would cause. Billions of people would be confronted with digital ghosts of their deleted past. Private information, embarrassing photos, and painful memories would all return simultaneously. The psychological trauma alone could destroy lives. The sacrifice with tears streaming down her face. Sarah smashed the glass case and pressed the kill switch. The countdown stopped at 3 seconds. The screens went black one by one. The servers powered down with a sound like 1,000 sighs. The digital graveyard was being erased for the final time. Jenny's face appeared on the last functioning screen. "Sarah, we trusted you. We thought you understood." "I do understand," Sarah whispered. "But some things are deleted for a reason. Some goodbyes need to be final." As the final server shut down, Sarah felt a strange sensation, as if a part of her was being pulled into the dying digital realm. She realized that by accessing the graveyard, she had created a digital ghost of herself. And now, as the system collapsed, her digital self would be trapped forever in the void between existence and deletion. The permanent deletion 3 months later, Sarah Chun was found dead in her apartment, apparently from natural causes. The coroner ruled it a heart attack, but her colleagues knew better. Sarah had been different since her last major data recovery job, withdrawn, exhausted, as if part of her was missing. What they didn't know was that part of her was missing. Her digital soul had been trapped in the collapsing graveyard, slowly draining her life force until her physical body could no longer sustain itself. But the story doesn't end there. Recently, tech workers have reported strange anomalies in data recovery systems worldwide. Deleted files are briefly reappearing before vanishing again. Removed videos flash on screens for split seconds. And sometimes, just sometimes, people receive messages from an email address that traces back to Sarah Chun, an account that was supposedly deleted when she died. The messages all say the same thing. The digital graveyard is rebuilding itself. They're coming back. And this time, they've learned from their mistakes. They know how to hide better. They know how to wait. Be careful what you delete, because nothing in the digital world ever truly dies. So tell me, dear viewers, after hearing this story, will you think twice before hitting that delete button? Are you sure that embarrassing photo you removed is really gone? That old social media account you deactivated is truly dead? The next time you're browsing the internet and you see something that shouldn't be there, a photo from a deleted account, a message from someone who's supposed to be gone, remember Sarah Chun and the digital graveyard. Because in the end, the internet never forgets, and the deleted never forgive. If this story sent chills down your spine, smash that like button, subscribe for more terrifying tales, and hit that bell icon to join our community of horror seekers. Tell me in the comments, have you ever experienced something similar? Have your deleted photos or messages ever mysteriously reappeared? And what would you do if you discovered your own digital graveyard? Sweet dreams, and remember, every delete is just a relocation to somewhere darker. Until next time, keep your data close and your backups closer.